My name's Guy Kestevan. I've been a professional bike and kit tester for nearly 25 years. And today, the bike I'm tech talking round is Santa Cruz Nomad. And as you can see, the layout is massively changed from the previous Nomad, but there are some clear details on here. You've got this, sharper web behind the head tube there. You've got this direct entry cable routing, so it doesn't matter which way around you run the brakes. It's not going to rub on the paintwork. You've got proportional chainstay length. I mean, actually, the subframes themselves are all the same. By adjusting the lower link, it changes the effective chainstay length. So it's a 435 on this bike, but it ranges from 4.2. But depending on the front end of the bike, the back end of the bike gets longer as well. Reach is increased on these bikes, so this is 480mm long in this large, but they go from 425 to 500mm long. And they've shortened all the seat tubes as well, so you can fit a longer stroke dropper in there, or you can size up if you want more reach. As well as that, you've got room for a full-size bottle in the frame, as well as plenty of room for, your inner tubes, whatever else you want to lash on there with a pack strap. And it actually looks higher than it is because the front wheel's a bit raised, but it's a 345mm bottom bracket drop here. And as you can see, while we're down here, let's have a look. We've got more rubber protection. You've got these ribbed on the top side, you've ribbed on the underside, you've got more there. You've got belly armour, you've got a plate on there now to protect it against the tailgate if you took it in your pickup. You have got, what else have you got going on? You've got the linkage at the back that changes geometry by either it's about 0.3 degrees or 4mm in terms of ride height. And you can see big old bearing on the back of the shock there for maximum sensitivity on this Super Deluxe. They've also changed the kinematic slightly, so overall leverage rate is actually lower in terms of the average, but it's more progressive towards the end of the stroke. It'll still take any shock in there, whether it's coil or whether it's air shock. But if you go for the coil shock bikes, it's the same price. You get a heavier duty rear tyre. This bike comes with an XO Plus, but on the coil shock bikes you get a DD carcass tyre. It's 27.5 front and rear, so they haven't changed that. They haven't turned it mullet or MX, as Santa Cruz like to call it. Mini DHR Max Terra on the back, and then the all-conquering, super sticky Max Grip 3C Assegai on the front. And again, that's an Eve XO Plus protection, Max Grip compound, and again 27 by 2.5 wide tyre on the front. This has been hopped up with the Santa Cruz Reserve wheels, so you get a lifetime warranty on your rims as well as on the frame. The frame is actually the C model here, not the CC, so it's a little bit heavier but just as stiff, and all the same features, all the same geometry, same lifetime warranty as well. Other nice features on here, you've got a Santa Cruz bar, you've got a Bergtech 40mm stem, this cold forged stem, actually stiffer than the CNC machine stems, so that's a really nice piece to have on there. RockShox reverb seat post, WTB saddle, Santa Cruz's own Palmdale grips, and then while it's got Super Deluxe RockShox shock on the rear, you have got a Fox 38 on the front, 170mm travel to match the rear, and it's the Performance Elite version, so you've got high and low speed compression damping, and you've got high and low speed rebound damping under this bucket on the bottom of the fork, and it's the floating axle standard, so bolt-in axle, and then secures on there. It just lets it drift slightly on the axle, which means no pinching of the stanchions and no interruption. So there's a lot of subtle changes on this bike, and aesthetically as well, it's just a sharper fold around that shock tunnel on there, and these colours are absolutely beautiful. This oxblood colour, obviously, going to be really popular among Dr. Martin fans, and as you can see, this frame's had a bit of wear on it. It's actually a well-used sample bike, so but these are not cheap bikes. This is £7,099, so I would suggest getting it Invisi-framed or protected in some way to protect your investment if you can. It's still VPP suspension, but as this is one of the first bikes to move to the lower link setup that's now common across all Santa Cruz bikes, apart from the Blur, and you've got a little fender there over the back of the shock just to keep the roost out of it. But as you can see, even with a 2.4 on there, you've got masses of tyre space, and there's no braces on there or anything, so plenty of room for bigger rubber if you want it. But to be fair, I generally really like a 2.4, certainly in winter, because it drifts around less than a 2.6. But you could easily match it up with a 2.5 on the front. But, I mean, yeah, you can get them built as a frame, or you can go for these complete builds. There's a full range, obviously, available for Santa Cruz. So that's the quick tech talk round. I mean, obviously, this bike, 27 wheels, front and rear, huge amounts of travel with that superb VPP suspension setup. This is a bike designed to have fun, just attack any kind of trail and just properly rip it up. So, especially with that assegai on the front. So that's exactly what I'm going to do now. I'm going to take me action blanket off. I just thought I'd try and look nomadic for the Nomad video. Slip into something a little less tasseled for riding, and hit the trails here at Stainburn. And I'll mix in some footage from other locations as well, probably. But thanks for watching. Thanks to Santa Cruz for sending the bike in for test. Thanks to my Patreon supporters for supporting this video and sort of giving the channel and sustaining the channel on a monthly basis. They get extended early and behind the scenes edits as a thank you. If you really like what I'm doing on the channel and you want to see it thrive, then please consider joining Patreon and subscribing with a small monthly pledge. But regardless, please click for notifications, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up if you like these edits, and yeah, we'll keep testing bikes for as long as I can. But for now, I've been Guy Kesteven on Guy Kest TV, and it's time to get wild on the Santa Cruz Nomad.